Alright, my little rant and ride today. So, yeah. My little rant today is going to be called Fun Facts of Nevada. Alright, so, my rant, yeah, Fun Facts of Nevada. So, as you know, I did my little ride to Hawthorne. Okay, the ride to Hawthorne was supposed to be a 70-degree day. That's what it said. You know, that's Dayton weather, and I look out towards Yerington and Hawthorne, you know, and it says anywhere from 68 to 70 degrees. So I take off on my ride. I leave about, when I woke up that morning, it was 50 degrees. I was like, holy smokes! You know, 50 degrees. I was like, wow, how impressive, good day. And it was an awesome day. You know, so it was an awesome day to go for a ride. However, you know, it was probably 70 degrees in between Hawthorne and Gabbs, closer to Gabbs. You know, but the majority of the day, I felt, was, you know, in the 60s. I mean, I went over Lucky Boy Pass out of Hawthorne. That was going to be cold, and I knew that. It got down to maybe 48. And I'm just judging. I could have pulled out my phone and checked out the... You know, but anyway, I'm just telling you. And the reason why I'm ranting, you know, because Monday and Tuesday was supposed to be the warm days to ride. And so today's Friday, and it's working on 5 o'clock. You know, it's almost 5 o'clock. 4:50, whatever. And it's 70 degrees. It's 70 degrees here in Dayton. 70 degrees. You know, this morning it was 32 when I woke up. Yeah, 32 degrees. And right now it's 70 degrees. I mean, you could never... I'm just tractoring with my husky. You can never determine, you know, what the temperature's going to be. Sometimes they're right on, sometimes they're close. They weren't even close. I mean, I got up this morning and went and gave plasma at the plasma bank. You know, and I'm like, and I came home and I'm like, what the heck, man? You know, it would have been a day, I would have planned a longer ride. You know, I would have went somewhere. You know what I'm saying. That's why I say, you know, because you know what I'm saying. I would have planned a long ride. Just see it, maybe I could flame it out, I don't know. Sometimes it has a little bit jumpy throttle on the bottom. It's still got too much air pressure in the tires. I mean, it's good for rocks, so you don't get your rims beat up. I wouldn't say pinch flat, I've got tubeless, but you don't get your rims beat up. You know, I think, like I say on my mountain bike videos, this road's rougher on my dirt bike than it is on my mountain bike, even though it's rough on my mountain bike. I'm like, holy smokes, dude. Yeah, this road's beat the dog. Yeah, UTV rock. They come out here and drive over rocks and they roll out in the middle of the road. No other reason for a 50-pound rock to be in the middle of the road. I just rode this last week on my mountain bike. You saw that video. That rock wasn't there. But, you know, I'm sitting there and it's 4:15 and I'm looking at the temperature gauge and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. It's 70 degrees and it's still 70 degrees. And it is late in the afternoon, but I'm like, you know, I can't waste the whole day and not just go on a little ride. We love Nevada. No, I'm not properly dressed. I do have hip pads, knee pads, boots on, but I don't have any upper body pads. No, Jubal, no. Don't ride without gear. You know, we love Nevada. I think we're doing an adventure bike ride tomorrow, just out towards Pine Grove, Sweetwater, Yarrington, blah, blah, blah. It'll be good. Hopefully it'll be like today, warm. You know, during winter time, you kind of pick and choose your rides. If I have a heated vest, which I should have taken on my Hawthorne ride, it would have made it a lot nicer. Should have did that. Would have been nicer on my Hawthorne ride if I would have taken my heated vest. You know, I always like my jackets to fit kind of snug. You know, I don't like big floppy jackets, but you know, you know how it is. Over the last 8 months, I didn't ride a lot last summer, so I probably put on 8 pounds. And you know where that goes. Yeah, the jacket doesn't want to fit. I could get into it, but you know, I gotta do like the girls did in the 70s, where they lay on the bed to zip up their pants. I gotta do that to zip up my jacket. Feels good after it's zipped up, but yeah. It's hard to get a heated vest under a jacket you can barely zip up without a heated vest, yeah. And, you know, I didn't fill up my bike until right before I came on this ride. I went to a gas station and confirmed, yep, getting 60 miles a gallon twice. Twice I confirmed 60 miles a gallon. Rocks, rocks, rocks. You know, from sand to rocks, from sand to rocks. Yeah, back tire has too much air in it. I can just tell you, got too much air in it. I can feel it. Kind of just squirreling all over the place. Especially on rocks. The front and back tire is just bouncing on the rocks, right? Should conform to the rocks a little bit. So that's kind of my rant today. Is we love Nevada. Can't ever tell what's going to be the best day to ride. Sometimes when you wing it, you come home when it's 45 degrees. You know, coming home today would have still been in the 60s. Yep. Yeah, we're just going up to VC here. A little cabin up here. I used to live in a little cabin up here like this one. Back in the day in VC. I wish I would have bought it when they tried to sell it to me, but I worked at the mines for 3 years. Pretty fun. Pretty cool experience. So, you know, I like this Husky. I mean, you can get it going pretty slow in first gear and chug over rocks to the point where maybe a lot of bikes would have flamed out. And you think it's going to flame out. I haven't flamed it out yet, but sometimes I'm wondering. And, you know, I haven't touched the clutch. I'm just moseying along. So, you can stop watching now if you want, because I'm just going to ride up to Virginia City and then come down 6 Mile Canyon. Ride along if you want. Hopefully there's no rocks on the road. I love riding this. When I ride up here, I always sing that song in my head. Fun, 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 till your daddy takes the T-bird away. Yeah. Sun's in my eyes a little bit. Another cool road there, right there, right there, right there. I always say my rides are going to be quick. I think this one's already over 30 minutes, so, you know, I always say that, but... Like I said, you know where to stop. I don't think many people actually watch through my whole video. Some do, and they post it. I watch the whole video. And I appreciate that. Thank you. I know it's really an art to stuff 8.5 hours of video in a 20-minute video and make it super exciting, awesome. I'm not that good at picking highlight spots yet. Here we go. I don't have a slipper clutch, so I gotta be careful riding that like my KTM. I keep trying to upshift with the speed shifter. I don't have that. And I don't have a slipper clutch, so. And I'm gonna say it again. You know, there's too much tire pressure. I know I should quit ranting about it and lower the pressure. All right, coming up to Virginia City. Now it feels cooler up here, right? But it's still in the 60s. You know, and the sun's going down over the mountains, so it's cooling off. And when I came home from my Hawthorne ride, it was dark already. So you know the temperature's gonna start dropping pretty fast, but it was about 48 degrees probably. Somewhere's in there. I think I forgot to look, but it was about 48 degrees. You know, it's okay. I could ride in 48 degrees. I just probably wouldn't have griped as much on the video if I could have wore my heated vest. You know, because I've done a lot of rides in the past in 45 degree weather. I think I got a video where I'm outside of Hawthorne and I'm off my XR 400 and I got my hands on top of the engine for like 20 minutes to get my hands warmed up so I could ride home. All rides are fun, but when you're shivering, just, you know, it takes some of the fun out of it. I can just deal with hot more than I can with cold myself. You gotta have water. I always think about that. You know, what if my water bladder, what if I crashed, fell over, and broke my water bladder? You know, and you're 50 miles from... I don't think you're actually 50 miles from anywhere. You know, it's probably more like 30 miles, which... but it's always, you know, it's something to think about. You know, a little bit of Husky Varney FE 350S riding experience here. Come on, you can turn. It's okay. You know, I went down to the motorcycle dealership to look and see if they had the Honda 450 RL. That's what my friend bought, and I rode it. And I like Hondas. The only thing I didn't like about the Honda is it's 50 pounds more than this one. Now, probably not 50, but it feels like 50. This bike is extremely light. My favorite part. My favorite part is how light this bike is. And I was concerned. I went in to buy a bike that was a 450 or a 500, and even considered, 690. So anyway, I go in, they didn't have the Honda. They had one KTM 500. I'm like, okay, I think I want that. So I came back, coming in the next day, and I called the salesman that I was talking to the day before, and he's like, this morning, first thing when we opened up, someone from Bishop put a deposit on it. I'm like, come on, man. So I didn't get that one. So then I'm looking at the other bikes in the store. They had 500s, but I'd have to do the street legal kit myself, which isn't horrible, but this time I was like, I just want to buy something that's already set up. So since they didn't have any dual sporter bikes left that I saw, looking in the 450, 500 range, they had a tricked out Husqvarna 300 two-stroke. I mean, it was all tricked. Everything was changed on it. Rims, XL rims, all tricked out, different fork. They did the whole number on it. So I'm like, you know what? I think I'll get a two-stroke. I'll get a play bike, and I'll use it in El Dorado. So I got approved for that bike. They said, you're approved to get that bike. And when I went to pick it up, I'm just standing there, and I'm like, before I did paperwork, I'm like, gee, I'm going to have a dirt bike that's not street legal. I'm going to have to ride it down the sides of the roads and push it, or, it's back to the dirt bike days, and I'm only going to be able to ride 65, 70 miles, and the tank's empty, unless I get a bigger tank, but still, all those things. And I saw this, and I'm like, Husqvarna 350 dual sport. Don't really want a 350, but I'm sure I'm not ready to do a two-stroke either. So, as you can see, I changed my mind, opted for the Husqvarna. It's fun to go fast, but, I love that acceleration from 1 to 6 gear, as fast as you can accelerate. That's the adrenaline pump. And this bike isn't bad. So I run with my friend's Honda 450L with this bike. So it's comparable power and acceleration and blah, 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 and it's a lot lighter. I'm an older guy, and I used to be really strong when I was younger, but, 40, 50 pounds to me to pick up a bike, that's a lot. To pick up my XR 400 now can be a chore, especially if I have anything on the rack, like a pack or something. I'm like, this thing's a pig. And I still love that bike, man, I love it. But it's a pig to pick up. This thing's easy to pick up. So my rider experience, I've taken it on long highway rides. It does 90 miles an hour, if not more. But you can ride at 70, no problem. 75, I've done that. And it's okay. I don't like the way it sounds, like it's revving out like crazy, but you can do it. But it's been a good experience. 60 miles a gallon. Changing the oil change routine is kind of funky. I don't really like it. It's not fun on my XR either, or my CRF 250. I like a bike, you pull one drain plug and the filter. I don't like multiple bolts and multiple filters and lean your bike on its side and pour some oil. It's just weird things. I just like a bike, you drain it and put oil in it. But anyway, my rider experience, has been good. If you guys watch my videos, you should know, when I'm driving 70, 80, I've got the tubeless system in my tires. I know you're not supposed to drive that fast on tubeless, but it works. I had to change the back center tube on this bike after my Vegas trip a year and a half ago. I think that was my fault because there were some huge temperature changes, maybe not huge, but temperature changes, and I think I let the center tube in the tubeless system, I think I let the air get low, and therefore it ripped the valve stem. I didn't check it before I left Vegas. I sure did an inspection. I just rode there and rode back, and when I got home and I rode it all the way home, and I came out the next morning and my back tire is flat. I mean flat. So I don't know how long I was riding it flat. I could have been riding it for miles flat. But anyway, I took it apart and the stem was ripped on the inner, but I think that was my fault. You go on long rides, and you get to places of destination, check your tire pressures, check them out. But anyway, this bike has been pretty good. The one complaint I have about it is kind of a catch-22, because it's part of the reason why I like the bike. The bike is light, but the subframe is composite, so you can't just slap a rack back there. So they do make a rack for it, but the rack has a frame that attaches to the frame on this Husky, and the rack is $450. So it's not a $150 rack. It's expensive. Hopefully I can get it by the time I do my Vegas trip this year. Otherwise I might be doing it on the 790. I always feel comfortable on a dirt bike, Not super comfortable, I'm not much of a single track guy, even though I like single track and I love watching it, but, I'm not, right up the waterfalls, right down the waterfalls, do all this, yeah. I wish I would have grew up that way, but, I grew up kind of riding in the woods. And yeah, there was kind of like single track stuff in the woods, but not really. I mean, it was an interesting experience. had friends who broke their feet, right, on stumps and stuff. You get off to the side of the trail and kick a stump with your foot, and trees and stumps don't move. Bend your handlebars still. But, I should stop saying that. Second gear, chug, chug, chug. Yeah, this bike chugs really good. That's the other thing I like, chuggability. It's a little bit lurchy at low speed, kind of. Kind of a little area where it feels like it's off and on, but you could chug it still. It's not an off and on where it kills the bike like a flame out. It's just kind of a touchy throttle deal. Ride by wire. But I graduated, I graduated in Boulder City outside of Las Vegas, so I rode desert. There was a motocross track there. And I didn't have my own motocross bike then. My friend had a Bultaco 125, and he was nice enough to let me ride it and race it. Well, you can get good on I say good, you can be okay on a local track, or feel good on a local track because you ride it all the time. And I love motocross as far as the idea of being a motocross racer, even though I lived out in the desert. And I went to the motocross track there in Boulder City, but because it was easy to go down the street and hit the desert, most of the time I was just riding through the desert, and it wasn't roads. You're literally riding through the desert and dodging bushes. I'm watching out for washouts from flash floods. Because you come up on a washout, and it's a 3 or 4 foot drop off. But that was my riding experience, desert. And not desert on roads or trails, it was just desert, through the desert. So yeah, I just love desert riding. I do. I just love it. I wish I was good like those single track guys. Yeah, those guys are awesome. Hard enduro guys are even more amazing, but I'm like, is that really fun? I don't know. Some of it's like, it's amazing, but it doesn't look fun. I get my adrenaline rushes from that acceleration burst and going fast, and yeah. I don't think driving 10 miles an hour trying to jockey my bike over rocks is gonna get that same rush, but it's still cool, I guess. Anyway, my short video, it's probably another almost an hour long, so I hope you watch. Anyway, it's the end of the day. Still feels like it's 68 degrees out here. It's amazing. I would have went on a long ride today if I would have thought it was going to be a nice day. You know, it's been a real mild winter, which is cool. It lets you, should have went down the dirt and jumped out on the street when I got up to speed. Because I wanted to rant and get a ride in because it's so warm. I mean, it's been pretty cold. We had so much good riding this winter. I should have been riding more. Really. Shoulda, coulda. You know, but I'm starting my riding now. I signed up for Giant Loop Venture for this year at the end of May for 4 days. That should be fun. And then of course my Vegas trip for sure. And I don't want these trips to be rushed. You know, I mean, don't really have a lot of money because I didn't get my motorcycles paid off. That was my goal with working, was get the bikes, get them paid off, and then, you know, of course I could relax. Not like I got money to relax on retirement and Social Security, but I'm a low maintenance person. You know, I only eat once a day, and sometimes I skip days, no problem. 2 or 3 days. I actually feel better when I skip 2 or 3 days between eating. But anyway, that's my rant. Alright, that's my rant. My rant, weird things about Nevada. My rant about Nevada. I love it. Yeah. Sometimes you get in the evening and you just gotta go 70 degrees. And it's 4:30 in the afternoon. You're like, yeah, I'm going for a ride now to Hawthorne. Alrighty.